Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Bible Q&A. Today we're discussing, do images and symbols really have any role to play in our worship? There are several major churches that use the images of saints and other important biblical figures, known as icons, as part of their worship of God. Many other churches liken their use of such images to idolatry, but these churches insist that they are only used as a way to maintain a connection with Jehovah. So who's right? Should symbols be a part of Christian worship or not? Well, no, because you can't worship the people those images represent, let alone the images themselves. In Revelation chapter 19 verse 10 and chapter 22 verses 8 to 9, John started to bow down to an angel, but the angel told him to stop because only God was worthy of such an action. In fact, Colossians chapter 2 verse 18 outright prohibits the practice. Let no man beguile you of your reward in a voluntary humility and worshipping of angels, intruding into those things which he hath not seen, vainly puffed up by his fleshly mind. If we can't worship holy figures, how can we worship their images? Plus, even if they are created with good intentions, they can lead to idolatry later on. For example, in Judges chapter 8 verse 24, Gideon asked the people who fought with him to give him earrings so he could build an ephod for God. He clearly intended for it to be used to serve Jehovah, but it later became an idol, as shown by Judges chapter 8 verse 27. Once he died, they stopped serving God entirely and started worshipping Baal. Also, in Numbers chapter 21 verse 9, Moses made a serpent of brass that would heal the Israelites if they looked at it. Many icons in history were created to provide their holders or wearers with divine protection, and this event could be seen as a predecessor of this tradition. However, in 2 Kings chapter 18 verse 4, King Hezekiah had to destroy it because the Israelites were offering sacrifices to it, as if it were God. The reason stuff like this happens is that people take stuff that is meant to teach us about righteousness, and they eventually believe that stuff is righteousness. As Paul said in Galatians, "Wherefore the law was our schoolmaster to bring us unto Christ, that we might be justified by faith. But after that faith is come, we are no longer under a schoolmaster." Galatians chapter 3 verses 24 to 25. It's like riding a bike with training wheels and coming to believe that that's how bikes are manufactured. For example, the sacrifices offered to the physical temple in Jerusalem represented our spiritual works, according to Romans chapter 12 verse 1, and the temple itself was a physical representation of the spiritual temple, which is us. In a different epistle, Paul told us, "Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you?" 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 16. If the Israelites couldn't move from physical concepts to spiritual concepts, their faith would eventually become corrupted, according to Hebrews chapter 8 verse 12. A good example of people like that were the Pharisees. Thus, my advice is that we move from the physical Old Covenant to the spiritual New Covenant if we want to improve our faith. This new covenant is based on one's heart condition, and not weekly visits to a physical building, which are irrelevant in a technologically advanced world. As it was said in Jeremiah, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel, and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, saith the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts, and write it in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people." Jeremiah chapter 31 verses 31 to 33. And that is where I'm going to stop with this Bible Q&A. Do images and symbols really have any role to play in our worship? No, because you can't worship the people that inspired those images, they can lead to idolatry, and they can prevent people from moving on to spiritual forms of worship. Thank you for listening! Don't forget to like and subscribe!